Alright, hello guys, DJ Aaron here. I'm going to go over some type of user guide for YouLive. So, you guys probably haven't heard of this live streaming website. It is a live streaming website that has been around since 2015, and it's actually a pretty good site. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you guys kind of a tour, so to speak. So we're going to use my channel as kind of that tour point. So when you go to a channel for the first time, you're going to see the video player and you're going to see the chat room. Now, these kind of work in kind of like unison together. You know, it kind of creates that experience. So, like any live streaming website, if you're very unsure about do I have to pay pro to use these features, the answer is no. This site is free. Moderation tools, kick, ban, etc. is all free. So when you're on your channel for the first time, and we're using my channel as a kind of a demonstration, you have user cams, which on iVlog you have to pay for whenever you get a pro account. On this site it's free. So if you have a flash enabled browser, these cams are available. Right now Chrome does block the Flash plugin. So it says Flash was blocked on this page, and I have never looked into how to fix this, but in a way I don't really care anyways, because I don't use the cams when I broadcast anyhow. So that's kind of out for me. So now if I am viewing someone else's show and I want to get on cam, I'd have to either use Edge or Firefox to do so, which is not a big deal because 99.9% of the people would probably use Edge or Firefox. But the user cams are there if anybody wants to use them or they choose to use them, which kind of is awesome in a way because you get to interact with, the broadcaster, etc. And it kind of puts you in the show, which is one thing that I liked. Now, the upside about this site is it is free. It is free, and you don't have to worry about buying pro account if you don't want to. If you want to step it up a little bit into that and kind of step it up level-wise, be a pro streamer, because you can do quite a few things with it, like embed your channel page, like what I've actually done here for my website. So if you have your website created, which is done by Wix or whatever website you have, you can actually embed your channel page. Now, Wix doesn't give me that big of an area to work with. It only gives me a certain area to work with. You can see that it does have scroll bars, etc. Now, it's the only downside about this website is because the fact that you have to have the actual channel page set in dimension of how it's set up for your actual website. So people will say, oh, it's kind of cut off. Well, there's only a certain way that I can get it to be positioned without being cut off. So this is kind of it. Now, the black that is normally shown here is transparent. So if you're kind of weary on how it looks, the black is transparent. So obviously I can actually access the public chat from here as well. So as you can tell, the buddy list is kind of cut off because that doesn't show up in the code. But you have to enable Flash Player the first time you use this because the fact that the site uses Flash, though the chat is HTML5. So be mindful of that when you are actually embedding your channel page for the first time. So we can now cover that we have Pro Streamer. Okay, so the Pro Streamer allows you to embed your channel page, and normally it would allow you to do ad-free streaming, etc. Alright, so we do have that. Okay, so now we have the share portion of, this. You can share on whatever you want to share it on, like Facebook and Twitter and, should I say, Google+. I've only shared it on Facebook like 54 times and 7 times on Twitter. So you could share it on various platforms, and I only shared it 0 times on Google+. So you can actually share it on your social media sites. Right now, the links are kind of broken. So what me and BG Radio Network has done is we embedded our channel pages on our websites. So if people choose to go to the shows on any particular network, because I'm also a part of the BG Radio Network, we do have a way to get around this stuff. And, all I have to do is link my channel live page from the website onto pretty much any social media platform. And this way, you guys don't have to deal with links, the show links that redirect all the time, and you can actually log in with your username because it will tell you to sign in, etc. From the actual website. So that is also another benefit to, should I say, channel embed, if you know what I mean, if you have issues. YouLive is working on it, and I do pretty much commend them for actually doing what they can do, and finding a way to fix the problem. It's a pretty good site. Okay, so you have viewers now, which I only have one, which is just me, and then you have views all time, which I have 848. All that. So right down here is your bio and playground. This is where you could actually put in the bio of the channel, your show schedule, and whatnot. So it is very straightforward. It is a pretty basic site. It is one of those things that keep it very simple, keep it very clean, and don't have a cluttered channel page. So right down here we have account and status. This just shows you when pro account expires, uh, which is, kind of recommended anyways when you have a pro account, because then you can monitor, your pro account status, etc. Right down here is the channel comments page. I am not logged in right now, so the channel comment page is kind of useless for me at this point in time, but I will be logged in soon. If someone like leaves a comment or whatever, it has to be a family-friendly content, because I only take family-friendly comments. So um, anybody doing a non-family friendly comment, I will flag it as inappropriate. So I do sift through comments, and I do filter comments on my live show channel page. So yeah, always keep it family friendly to a degree. Anyways, here's the buddy list. This is pretty similar to like a friends list or subscriber list on other live streaming websites. Some live streaming websites do followers, but this one does buddy list. So as you can tell, I got 13 people in my buddy list. So that is pretty cool. So that is pretty awesome. We have edit, which I will not show you guys because that is, stream key wise and embed code, etc. So I'm not going to show you guys that because that is personal. And yeah, we have relationships, which actually takes you into like friend requests, etc. Subscriptions, if you have subscriptions for pro, you can actually check those subscriptions. So that is a cool thing to do. I would highly recommend that. If you subscribe and you're a pro user, you could do exactly that. Alright, let's check out the home page. But first, you'll see the top bar up here, which actually is, the live top bar, which is for all the live users. So all of these are pre-recorded shows right now. Like as you can see right here, it kind of froze there for a second, but even that isn't bad. But it's just people using higher quality streaming bit rates, which is kind of a little bit hard for my connection. But eventually it does even out. So it isn't bad. But this is a pre-recorded live stream, and you'll see quite a bit of those on YouLive as well. YouLive main page news, it's just showing you like, different things that are being done, fixed, updated, etc. So, pretty soon they'll have more security updates, etc. So you can check the recent comments if there's like anything new. You have description and whatnot, etc. So you have the welcome new users. This is pretty much where the new users are viewed, and pretty cool. So if you're a new user, you might show up in this portion of the homepage. This is the broadcast billboards. This is where the broadcasting billboard is, and You'd be lucky if you ever have your show up here. Mine isn't up here because mine isn't advertised at all. So I don't really mind. But, you know, if you see me live, the best place to check is up here. So, you know, that's cool. Okay, so here's some of the things for Pro account. You can get featured, uh, Pro badge, um, you know, chat and cam enabled, uh, ad-free viewing. So, you know, pretty much, you know, minimize ad viewing, etc. So, pretty much, this is pretty much the whole entire front page right here. So, you can pretty much see that it's a pretty good site. So, if you ever come to a site like this, you can also check out, you know, like channels, etc. So this is where all the channels are. Yes, Flash plugin is blocked. No big deal. It's you know, everything else around it. It's not the Flash player that's blocked. So here's pretty much every user on this site. You know, some of them abandon the site. Some of them are still here, but you know, the site's still active in a way. So you know, the site isn't dead or anything. It's just, you know, not at its peak user time right now. So um, so you you know, when you're here, you could look through the channels. You could see who is, you know, on this site, etc. So if you're into like music type of stuff, you can go into the radio section. So there's a lot of channels in the radio section, so you can actually, you know, find the channel that you want, uh, and you can actually go to a specific show. So there's a dedicated radio section here on this site as well, and people can also game as well on this site. So who's online? This will show basically who is online at a certain point in time. Since there's nobody in my list that is online, nobody shows up here unless they're online or streaming. The RTMP broadcaster guide, this just shows you some of the broadcasting software you can get. Like, I use OBS, which I would recommend any Windows or Linux user to get if you're in, you know, live streaming. I would also recommend Wirecast. I've used it in the past. It is pretty good software. XSplit, it is good software, but even in this day and age, XSplit is kind of like, I don't know. But Flash Media Live Encoder, if you have an older computer lying around and you want to use Flash, you have the option to do that. I'm not going to open my Flash Media Live Encoder because it will view my stream key right off the bat, so I'm not going to do that. So I do use it as a backup plan, mainly because if OBS is being a pain on a specific show, that will be used as a backup. So I got Flash Media Live Encoder as a backup, and I don't have to worry about anything else either. And I also have a copy of Flash Media Live Encoder on the Mac, which I do have uLive set up for that as well. So I can stream from both computers. I don't have to worry about shortage of streaming computers. The old 2007 MacBook Pro can stream beautifully without any issues, and it does exactly what it does. So you could basically, if you have an older computer and you are keeping it around for certain tasks, Flash Media Live Encoder is the best way to go for certain, certain streams. All right, so video system settings, suggestions. Right now I'm kind of streaming between the two. I have my settings set to 640 by 360, but it is a widescreen portion. It's not like 4:3 letterbox, or should I say 4:3 with the sides cut off. It is complete widescreen. Bit rate is in between 400 and 600. I'm running it a little bit lower on the safe side because, I don't want to drop as many frames, so I'm keeping it on the low side. Audio bit rates, I'm keeping it about 128 frames per second. I'm actually kind of in the range of 20 to 30. So I'm using a combination of the two, kind of evening it out a little bit. If I go 20 FPS, I'm going to run into problems. So I keep it about 24 FPS. That minimizes the frame droppage. For Macs, well, let's look at standard here. So I'm treating it almost kind of like a dual core, but I do have quad core with frames per second. So the minimal you see right here. Standard, you have a resolution of 720 by 406. Video bit rate is in between 650 and 800, which I'm not running that. I'm running somewhere in the lower range, below 400, but it still works. Video quality may suffer a little bit, but it still works. You have 650 and 800 video bit rates. Audio bit rate is 192 to 256. Frames per second in between 20 to 30. Like I said, I'm running a combination of the two, so it really isn't that big of a jump. So the max is resolution 1920 by 1080. Your video bitrate will be between 900 and 1200. Some people run lower than that, which would be at 1000. But audio bitrate, you could run at 320 very easily. Frames per second, 30 to 60. Please note a quad core or better is required, for that as well. So that is the video system settings. GoPro today is, you could pretty much buy a pro account for someone, and pretty much that's exactly what it is. About youlivenow, which I will click the About. So this just tells a little bit about the website. So since this is hosted in the UK, they go by UK standards, which you have to be 18 or older to join this website. You cannot join this website if you're like 15 or under. So you have to be 18 to take some benefits of this website. So there you go. The site is always in beta because they're always adding new features, which is very good to add new features. It's what keeps the site growing in a way. So YouLive has a video house. Basically, it has all the recorded videos for each live stream. Now, since I do mine in MPEG-4 format, it will not play in Chrome. So, if I ever showed you a recorded portion of my show, I'd have to either do it in Microsoft Edge or Firefox. So, it will not work in Chrome. So, youlivenow Instagram, it will take you straight to Instagram for the the website Instagram where people post pictures, etc. I'm followed. I'm pretty much followed to you now. So, or not you, or youlivenow. Sorry. Report site problem and feature center, etc. So you pretty much have that. You can also go live now on the site broadcaster, which I'm not going to show you guys because a site broadcaster is a site broadcaster, so I'm not going to show you. So that is YouLive pretty much in a nutshell. It's a pretty decent site. I would highly recommend you guys to check it out. Also, you could check out the terms, rules, policy, trust and safety, FAQ. They used to have an Android app. I don't know if they do. Tech blog. Recently joined. You could check about us. So, yeah, I would highly recommend you guys to check out this website and, stop on by and check out the show sometime. I do allow people to come into the chat if they're nice. If not, leave your drama at the door. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Peace out, practice and enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the next video.